What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I'm going to show you how I was able to get the max score in the Dungeon of Trials, aka Spider Pain in the Ass. And this is a game mode that I absolutely detest. I'm actually doing this upon a request that I had from one of my paid members. Shout out to you, Nathan. And this is the team that I used. I used Ginitz, Delins, Eileen, Iori, and Rugal. Now, Rugal, Iori, and Ginitz are always going to be in the game. Rugal is a BS character, but his memories will come back. He is going to be coming back to the game. However, Eileen and Delin, yeah, I think they will come back in all honesty because Seven Knights is a Netmarble property, so I would imagine that they would come back, and that collab went over massively well for Netmarble. They made a lot of money off the Seven Knights. A lot of people, a lot of players really enjoy them and really love these characters. So I feel confident they're going to come back. However, I don't know when. It's hard telling. It's probably going to be a long time. But I'm sure we're going to get other collabs that are going to be just as good in here because they always make collab characters insane. And I actually had to do this run on my emulator. I'm just much better at bringing in strikers, timing everything, much better on my emulator in a game mode like this. Because in this game mode, you pretty much run through your skills, go to the next character. Run through your skills, go to the next character. And you're bringing your striker every time you run through your skills. You'll do 3 skills, your striker. Bring in 3 skills, striker. Bring in 3 skills, striker, right? Every time you switch in a character. And the most important thing to remember is to have some chill and have some shock damage. Now, the only shock damage that we're actually going to have is Eileen. And I've seen players use other teams to get the 500 million, but this is what I had to use. And Ginitz here, I actually have the Akane set, and Akane is king, my friends. Akane and the Serena set are the king. Serena set's obviously going to be better. We'll talk about that in a second. But because Ginitz doesn't have any chill damage or shock, we just got some Zhong Fei card on. And this card really works well with Ginitz, and this is a good reason Ginitz is good, because Ginitz actually has a crit rate buff on his first skill. So, and you get the extra critical rate from this card, but it actually deals chill damage, 50% chance to deal chill damage upon landing a critical hit, which is wonderful, right? So on a character like Ginitz, the chances of you doing chill damage are very, very high. Max imprint stones, double attack right here, and then a single attack right here. All these characters are maxed out, and this is another reason like this game mode is so hard. I mean, you need some damn strong characters to be able to do this. Delin, we have max 7-9 imprint stones, and we are running the Akane set. Again, guys, the Akane set is just king, or queen, I guess is what you should say. And we have a Zhong Fei card on him as well to hopefully apply some chill. And then this Gintama card to add a little PG gain, which really, really helps. I don't think it's an absolute must, but it definitely makes him a lot better. I mean, Delin, when you play him, you can actually reset his first skill by doing the second skill. So you generally do the third skill first for your super armor, then the first skill, then the second skill, then the first skill. And on your second time that you bring him, the first time you use him, you're not going to use your 3PG. The second time, you will use the 3PG. So you might not even need that card, but I find it definitely makes things a whole lot easier. And then for Eileen, I got the Serena set. And this set is insane on this character. Holy crap, guys. This is freaking amazing because Eileen, all 3 of her skills reset after she does her ultimate or default finisher, right? The cool thing about this is you got the extra 34% extra attack, but you also have the extra increased attack by 30%, increased attack by additional 15% for 10 seconds, and gains 10% power tagging in. And on top of that, if you have the My option card on this character, and by the way, if you had My, this would be a great setup to go with her as well. You got the decreased skill cooldown, the increased attack, and then, of course, the increased attack by 13% for 5 seconds and grants super armor. And the super armor is really nice for Eileen because every time you drop in, if Spider Robot shooting out his laser, if he swipes his leg forward, he can knock you out of the air and knock you back, interrupt you to where you're kind of falling back, laying back on the ground, and you can't really go into your skills as fast as possible. And that's the key to beating Spider Robot. That's the key. You have to be very, very fast and hope like hell he doesn't, or it doesn't hit you when you're falling down. Then, of course, max imprint stones. All of them have max capsules. And then Iori. Now, Iori actually changed up a little bit. I actually have double attack stones on each of his imprint stones, so he's got a lot of extra attack. And then I am running the Tekken set. Now, you could run a different set on him. You could run the Akane set, and you could run maybe a Gintama card, or the 7 Nice PG card. And then, of course, we have the Zhongfei card. And just like Genis, actually better than Genis because Iori has a lot of crit buffs and we have the Tekken set on him. And by the way, guys, you could put the Mad Tea Party set on him. That would probably be really good for Iori. That's a free-to-play set that's always in the game. It's not as good as Tekken, but it's still going to be a really good set. Iori has 30% PG gain in his core. So if you use one of these PG cards, like the Yantama card or the 7 Nice card, you're going to build up your PG fast enough. All you need to do is just do his default. You can try using his 3 PG, but I definitely found, and shout out to my buddy Leo from Discord, he was letting me know just to use the 5 PG. Even though the 5 PG will get canceled because it does a grab, you still get all of the damage from the damn thing, and it really makes a big difference. And again, just like Genis, the Zhongfei card works really well because it does chill damage based off critical hits, landing critical hits, right? And Iori has a lot of crit buffs, and with the Tekken set or the Mad Tea Party set, he can do well. I've seen a person hit the max score using Mad Tea Party sets on their characters. So it definitely can be done. And then we have Rugal. We all know how strong Rugal is, and you might find this funny, but I actually wanted to use 2 of the PG cards, one Yantama, one 7 Nights, because even though Rugal has 30% PG in his core, I find he doesn't build up his PG quite fast enough. And again, guys, the whole point, now, the strategy that you're trying to do is you're trying to bring in your character and have their PG either ready or close to ready every single time that you bring in that character. You want to be using your ultimate skills, your default, your finisher, whatever it may be, more than likely your 3 PG, so that way you're stalling that timer. And in this game, that's a big thing in a lot of these PvE game modes. You're just trying to stall that timer. And then we do have the Akane set. And by the way, just a little tidbit for y'all to know, this set actually was doing better for me and performing better for me than the Orochi set. I know. It's so wacky, but yeah, the Orochi set is better as far as building a little bit of a PG, but the Akane set just does more damage, so I went with it. And then of course he has max imprint stones. Now, another little trick is to make sure you use the right strikers. Now again, guys, the only shock damage I'm using is Eileen. That's it. You want Eileen, you want shock and chill damage, and I just have one shock damage striker. That is it. Or not striker, but damage dealer. All the rest of my characters have Zhongfei cards on them, except for Rugal. And as far as strikers, you know, we have Ignis, because Ignis is a great striker, and you want to make sure that all of your strikers have card sets. Make sure they have card sets. You're going to do more damage if you do that. Then we have Nameless. Nameless is great. He has a nice link effect for Dylan. He's perfect. Rachel, we all know that Rachel and Eileen have an amazing synergy as far as striker bonuses. Plus, Rachel just does a lot of damage, does a lot of burn. That's a lot of extra damage. And then Okita, for the 30% extra critical damage. You could also use Leona for the critical damage by 30% also if you don't have Okita. And then Rugal here, we're going to be using Omega because he has a nice link effect. He decreases enemy attack, but he also gives a nice little heal. Really, we just got Rugal in there because he's level 50. We got card sets on him, and he's just going to add a lot of extra CP to BS Rugal. Now, I've already done this run, and again, guys, I had to do it on my emulator, so you're going to notice that Broly there is going to be on the screen. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. So this is going to go by really, really fast. You're going to notice that we're going to be moving through these characters extremely quick, and it's just do all 3 of their skills. In the first, when you run through all 5 of your characters, run through all 3 of their skills, and then on the last character, which is Iori in my case, we're going to wait till we got about 2 seconds left on getting his tag in. He was the first character we used. Then we're going to use the default finisher. Then we're going to use the first and second skill. And right when we hit the second skill, we bring in Genis. We run through Genis' 3 skills, and then we use his 3 PG. Then we switch to Eileen. Every time you use Eileen, we're going to use her S3. Then we're going to use her default. Then I usually use the S3 and then the S2, the first rotation. Now, actually, this is the second time we've done our rotation through all the characters. And with Eileen, I don't do both of her finishers just yet. But you'll notice after this, we will start doing that. And you see how fast Rugal's building his 3 PG, and that's really why I wanted to have 2 PG cards on him. It just makes things a lot easier and a lot quicker. So switch to Iori. And with the Iori, you just really want to, as soon as his default's ready, go ahead and use it. I went ahead and tried chancing it and getting up to his 5 PG, but I didn't make it quite there, but that's all right. That's all right. You want to use Iori's 5PG whenever you get the chance. If you don't have the chance, go ahead and use your default finisher. Don't waste time trying to build up that 5PG. Only if you're really close to it should you do that. Now notice with Eileen, I'm hitting my S3. I bring in Rachel for the 20% PG gain, plus we're getting a 10% PG gain from the Serena set. And I just hit her S3. She has her default ready. We do the default finisher. Then we hit the S3 again. Then we use the 3PG. Then I hit the S3, then the S2. And right when I hit the S2, I switch to the next character. And that's pretty much what you're doing. The last skill that you hit on your character, you want to switch to your next character. So now we have the 5PG. As soon as we do it, it's going to cancel, hit our S1 and S2, and then switch to Genets. As soon as we hit that S2, we switch to Genets. And I know it's a lot going on. It's extremely hard. I mean, in my opinion, I think Spider Robot's really probably the most difficult PvE game mode we have. Because of all this switching, all this bringing in your strikers. I salute all of you that do this with your phones. I play on my phone, right? But whenever I play this game mode on my phone, I just can't do as good. In fact, to give you guys an idea of a difference, I get around 300 million, 310 million when I play on my phone. And I'll hit over 400 million here playing on my emulator, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty wacky. It just shows how used to the emulator I am. And the thing about the emulator is, you know, I play with a controller, so I have all of the characters mapped to my controller. So, for example, like, you know, you got 4 characters in the top right-hand corner. The character to the top left is up. The character to the top right is right. The character to the bottom left is the joystick, or L3 is what you'd actually call it. And then the character to the bottom right is actually to the right on my directional pad. And I have this all memorized, and my finger's sitting on that button before I switch my character. That's one of the reasons I can go so fast, whereas with a phone, I have problems because my fingers are like a little big, I guess. For my iPhone, the buttons are a little small, so I'm just missing a lot of buttons. I'm missing bringing in strikers, and you want to bring in them strikers every single time. You're trying to gain as much damage, or do as much damage to this Spider Robot as fast as possible. And believe me, all those little things make a big difference in the amount of damage that you're going to do against this guy. Boom. Now, the good thing for me is, you know, I'm getting all these rubies, right? I got all these rubies. I hit the max score. But this is a game mode that it doesn't give anything. Yeah, you can get 2 gold hammers. 2 gold hammers for leveling up 10 freaking characters, guys. 10. Because you do need top, you know, leveled up strikers. You do need to put card sets on. That's another thing. You need 10 card sets. It's a lot of investment, and I just don't think the cost reward ratio is good enough. I've talked about Spider Robot before and how I feel about this game mode, and I just don't think it's worth it. I don't. Yeah, it's nice getting all those rubies, and you know, and I'm glad I got them. But and I do hope that this video helps some of you out there. I know a lot of you don't have Dylan and Eileen, but there's other characters that can do this. You can put in Mr. Karate, Pretty Zero. I mean, those characters are going to do really amazing as well. SS Mai, SS Athena. I've seen a 500 or a max score hit with SS Athena. I mean, you can use other characters. You don't have to use the exact characters I'm using, but this is the strategy that you want to use no matter what characters you're using. You want to run through your 3 skills, bring in your striker at the same time, switch to your next character as you use the last skill from your previous character, and then run through their 3 skills and just keep going and going and going. And as soon as they have their PG ready, their ultimate skill, you want to use that thing. Ooh, there we go. Bam! But I just think for the amount of investment that you do for this game mode, I mean, leveling up 10 characters, having max imprint stones and all these characters, it's a lot. It really is. I mean, the game mode should really have more to offer. And not to mention that the imprint stones in this game mode are just the single attack. You got the HP stones. So you got HP, and then you have a dot, and then you have attack. Whereas in Guild Raid, you can actually get double attack stones. And what do you think's better? I mean, in my opinion, Guild Raid's way better. Guild Raid, you only have to level up 6 characters. You're going to have 3 main damage dealers, and you're going to have 3 strikers. 6. Here, you need 10. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. And in Guild Raid, you know, you have 4 keys a day. You don't need to have super maxed out characters. I mean, even if you have decently built characters, you can do 2 keys and still get the max score. Even, well, not really in Lunatic per se. Well, kind of. I mean, honestly, if you're using Mai and maybe a couple other females, I mean, obviously you're going to use Elizabeth. And Athena, you probably could still do it, maybe with not fully built characters, but semi-built, but definitely on expert. I know you can do it without fully built characters. I mean, especially if you're just using all 4 keys. So this game mode they really need to improve the rewards in it, in my opinion, to really make it worth playing. Look how long this fight is taking. This is taking almost 10 minutes. This is taking almost 10 minutes of your day to do this. And is it worth it? Is it worth it for 2 gold hammers? Yeah, you'll get to do it 3 times, you get 6 gold hammers. Okay, if you hit 500 million in Immortal Dungeon, you get 6. You get 6 hammers. You can do that twice a day, and you'll get 12 hammers. You do this 3 times a day, you get 6. Yeah, you gotta spend 100 rubies in Immortal Dungeon, but for 6 gold hammers, I think it's well worth it. But because we get 100 rubies every single day. So let me know in the comments, how you all feel about Spider Robot. I mean, do you think the rewards need to be improved in this game mode? I mean, personally, I think we should be getting, 4 gold hammers minimum and double attack stones. That's what I think. I think the amount of investment that you got to put into this, I think that's exactly what they should be doing for all the players. Because I guarantee if the game starts looking at what game modes are being played the most often, I bet you money that this game mode is being played the least. I bet you money that this game mode is being played the least. Most people do not like it. I mean, I know in my Discord, I know a lot of players complain about it. They hate it. They want the rubies, but they're like, Jesus, we have to have so many strong characters, and we have to have all these powerful card sets, and so on and so on and so on. I mean, it's hard. It's a damn hard mode. I mean, even with my leveled up characters, even with collabs and BS characters, this is not an easy thing to do. This is very rough. Come on, Eileen. Get him, girl. And I'm sure you guys have noticed that I'm using Eileen. I use her default finisher first, right, to apply some dot, and then I go ahead and use her 3PG immediately afterwards. Oh yeah, I'm getting a little bit extra damage here. Oh yeah, come on. And we're just about to hit that 400 million. Rugal's going to get it done, my friends. Look at that. The timer was on 0 when we got in that last little bit of damage. And I don't even think this is a perfect run. I think maybe I could have done even better. So 404 million. Hopefully this will help some of you out there. As far as the Dungeon of Trials, look at that. Number 1. I'm guarantee that won't last. But let me know how you're all feeling about Spider Robot. Do you agree with the things that I've said? Have you been able to complete this thing and get the max score so you can get all those rubies? Or do you even play it? And as always, I stream on Twitch at 9 a.m. GMT plus 7 time, Monday through Thursday. The link will be in the description below. And as always, let me know what characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.